What is the difference between a leader and a boss? Start us off, Steve.
I think a boss is what you think of as far as like, the 20th century manager who just tells you what to do and potentially takes all the credit for the work, right? And that's kind of what the boss does. Like, here's what I want you to do, and I'm not going to give you any support or anything along those lines. A leader creates an environment for you to thrive in your genius zone, right? Like, what you want to do is you want to help lead people to succeed in their own way. So you got to find their strengths, identify their weaknesses as well, and try to provide as much opportunity for them to win and serve their purpose operating inside their genius zone. So where they win and they're winning helps the company win. That's what I say a leader does.
All right. Next up, Eric, what are your thoughts on boss versus leader?
Man, I feel like we could talk about this for an hour. Generally speaking, bosses tell people what to do. Leaders teach people how to do things, right? They also uncover the best out of people, where bosses, I read a really good article, not in the newspaper, CJ, I think it was online somewhere, but an article that talked about typically as bosses, we bring 3 people in, interview them for the same job. We hire the smartest person, right? And then we tell them how to do everything. It's a broken way that we typically manage people. You hire the smartest person, and then you completely suppress any creative thinking or problem solving that they have. It's a broken way to manage or lead people. So generally, I think bosses are just very eager to get their point across and have people follow their lead. Leaders are almost the opposite. They're allowing other people to sort of pave the way and supporting them as they go along.
Awesome. RJ, what are your thoughts, boss versus leader?
Well, last round was a perfect example of this. See, I was a leader by going out and doing the research on giving the correct answer. And Potter was a boss by then pretending to
That's your mute button, bro.
Computer, reading my answer back to the audience as if they didn't hear me, and then giving the point to Steve. That's being a boss right there. No, I mean, I think the guy said it right there. Leaders lead by example, and also understand what the team is going through. The boss sits back, doesn't necessarily understand what they're going through, and kind of dictates what they're wanting. I don't think many people want to be considered a boss. So if you feel like that's what you're being considered in your office space, then you're probably making mistakes and you're not a good leader.
Thank you for that insight, RJ. We really appreciate it, as always, here on Pardon the Disruption.
Good job, boss.
Way to be a leader. CJ, go ahead and lead us into some more discussion. What you got on this one?
First and foremost, shout out to Die Acquisitions. Thank you for everything you do for myself and Charged Up. I think leadership is about getting in the trenches. If you're a leader, you walk alongside your people. You lead from the front, and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You got to be a general that's ready to go to the front line at all times to make things happen and get things done. I agree with what Eric said. A boss is generally somebody that's bossing people around, telling people what to do. Not trying to do much of anything themselves. I think that's the beauty of small businesses, though, is that you do see a lot of leadership in most successful small businesses because most people start out as one-person shows, and then they have to grow and remove themselves from these different spots over time as the company grows. And I think that takes leadership to be able to do that. Everybody on this panel, has been in business for a really long time, and I think that speaks to everybody's leadership in some shape or form. Because you got to be able to lead to be able to sustain things for a while.